And we are back. I am now joined here by Firelaser. How are you doing?
Good. Glad to be on the desk.
Yeah, and we're getting into yet another game here. We have Platinum Players Poggies back, and they'll be going up against Conjoined Twins. So just to remind you, on the side of Platinum Players Poggies, we have Chesto, Nightsdawn, Jason the Other, Korean, Cridians. And on the side of Conjoined Twins, we have Camper on duty, Carmper on duty, No Size Matters, Habibi Poppy, and Habibi King. Anything you're looking forward to in this match?
Yeah, obviously we just saw PPP play. Did the other team play any games so far this tournament?
No, I don't think they have yet.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to see how their first look looks like, and we'll see if PPP can bring it back after their game that didn't go so well for them just now.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to find some better looks in this one. I think I'm particularly excited to see how No Size Matters, who's in his first DMV, does into a veteran player like Jason, and I think it should be pretty exciting to see the double Habibi bot lane going into Korean and Cridians.
Yeah, there's some interesting names on all sides here.
Yeah, we got Carmper and Camper as well as Habibi and Habibi, so this should be a little bit of a doozy.
Yeah.
And yeah, we should be going into champ select any moment here.
Yeah, I think a big part of what went on last game was the draft. I think Milio Kogma looked pretty unstoppable with what PPP drafted. So let's see if this draft goes any differently.
Yeah, PPP does now have access to the blue side, so we'll see if that ends up being a difference maker in the draft, because they'll be the ones able to first pick up that Milia if he does slip through the ban phase. As yeah, er, yep, we are into the draft here. Let me just fix the titles. We got PPP going up against Conjoined Twins. It looks like it will be a Zeri bound out first for the side of PPP. Obviously pairing very well with the Yumi this patch, and with Habibi Poppy being a pretty big fan of the Yumi, getting that off the table early is probably a good plan.
Yeah, Zeri's been tearing it up in pro play all over the world. So given the high caliber of this tournament, it seems that this tournament draft priority should be pretty similar to tournaments like LCK and LPL.
Yeah, I think so. And Ari, and Afelio spanned out as well. They seem to be targeting Habibi Poppy's champion pool, also taking the Scion option away from Camper, who is known to pick that champion.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any like specific one trick style picks on either side that we need to look out for?
Well, so in the last game, we were talking about how Platinum Players Poggies has a pretty versatile lineup that can bring out lots of different champions. We saw the Kasante flex to the mid lane. We saw the Kazakhs coming out. Nightstone is a Kazakhs main, but he can bring out lots of other champions as they will opt to go for the Ivern first. Nightstone has been practicing this, and we'll see if he's able to make a difference in this game. Milio taken off the table finally, and we'll have to see any more of that champion.
Yeah. Ivan's definitely a very unique pick. Definitely the reworks slash changes have boosted him into pretty high win rate, and the reoccurring shield and all that is pretty hard to break through sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. And Jarvan, the response, Jarvan, a very good early game jungler that could look to get his lanes ahead, and we'll see if that can match the pressure put out from Nightstone's Ivern, as he won't even have to clear any camps. He can just right click them, and then they're instantly dead. So yeah, able to get through the jungle pretty quickly early on.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. It'll be really interesting to see what Nightstone chooses to do for his pathing, since Ivern does have some pretty interesting counter jungling strategies available to him with how he can just instantly kill any camp with just smite.
And it will be another Lucian coming out, answered by the Ezreal Karma. Ezreal Karma, known for being a very strong lane that can lay out a lot of poke in the early game, and we'll see what they decide to pair with the Lucian to try and answer that.
Yeah, very very safe bot lane as well, with Ezreal having his E and Karma with shields and speed.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it'll just be another Nami coming out here, but oh, they do opt to go for the Akali. So No Size Matters is an Akali main, and he does perform very very well on this champion. So choosing to pick this champion up before she gets banned in the second ban phase might be a pretty good choice for the side of conjoined twins. Yeah, we'll see how No Size Matters does on his signature pick.
And I wonder if PPP will opt to ban away the Nami, which is very classically paired with the Lucian, or if they'll go for maybe like top bans or something like that.
Yeah, there are also a few other champions that could be paired with the Lucian. There's the Yuumi, there's the Sona, there's the Milio that was already banned. So, we'll see if there are any of those three that they don't like. It looks like Nami will be one of them. Rumble banned out for the other side. I don't know who's picking the Rumble here, but Rumble is a very good champion. So, probably a pretty good ban.
Looks like conjoined twins is deliberating on their last ban.
Yeah, we'll see if it's targeted at the top or the mid lane, as it looks like those are the two roles left to be picked. It will be the Galio coming out. A bit weird because normally I would expect to see something like a Galio paired with a Jarvan, but it can be pretty good with the Ivern too, I'd imagine, and just getting a comfort pick away from Jason is probably a pretty good idea here. We'll see if they do ban the Gragas, so I think Camper on Duty, also a Gragas player, a pretty nice ban to help limit his champion pool after the Scion was already taken away.
Yeah, Gragas also extremely strong pick in this meta. Very versatile, can be both tanky and do damage, and also just a lot of disruption in the team play.
So will be the Blitzcrank coming out with the Lucian. A bit creative, maybe preparing for the next patch. Lucian is getting some changes that will make him synergize a little bit better with the high CC supports like Blitzcrank. But to me, this seems like a bit of a self counter pick with Ezreal already secured, and now it looks like a Talia might be coming out, an excellent answer to the Akali.
Yeah, Ezreal E is a pretty straightforward counter to the hook. It's not too hard to buffer, so we'll have to see what this Blitzcrank can get done in the bot lane. Might just have to be aiming for Karma or waiting to see if Ezreal burns the E on something irrelevant. But yeah, I don't really like the Blitzcrank pick either.
I absolutely love the Talia pick here. I mean, I'm a little biased as a Talia main myself, but the Lucian, the Akali, the Jarvan, all champions that get completely walled by Talia, and it'll be nice to see how well Jason can do on this pick. A singed hover for the side of conjoined twins. I'm not sure if this will actually be the pick, but we'll see.
Yeah, Singe is definitely a very unique pick, kind of, and it looks like it gets swapped to Malphite.
Yeah, Malphite pretty solid in lane to the Jace. I don't hate the
Rock
pick.
solid, you could say.
Oh yeah, certainly. And another champion that does take damage from the Talia E, but at least the unstoppable nature of the ult able to go through that unhindered.
Yeah, Chesto's Jace is, I think, pretty well known too. We'll have to see how Camper's Malphite fares in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, Malphite should be a pretty good pick to stop this Jace from getting too far ahead, but if Jace can get the push and start to rotate down and impact the other lanes, that could be pretty devastating for conjoined twins.
Yeah, we saw him last game rotate pretty early down on Gwen and gank mid. I don't think it resulted in much, but we do know that Chesto is looking for these mid gank opportunities.
Yeah, and I'm pretty interested to see how the Ivern does this game. We'll see the route he opts for, where he decides to go first, but I would expect Nightstone to make some pretty early plays, and we'll see if Jarvan can match, because in those very early game 2v2s, Jarvan is very strong, and I might favor the Jarvan Akali over the Ivern Talia at those first few levels, especially once the Akali can get some of her mobility online.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. I think I think at level 6, I'm not sure because Daisy did get quite a bit stronger with the buffs, and especially with double melee mid jungle. I think if they can space it well, Daisy can put in some really big work against all these melee champions.
Yeah, for sure. And looking towards the bot lane, I mean, as a lot of Blitzcrank's lanes do, I think this will come completely down to the hooks. I mean, if he can land some crucial hooks on the Karma and the Ezreal, then this could be a pretty big pick for them. Habibi King, known for playing this Blitzcrank and landing some pretty crucial hooks in the late game.
Yeah, any hook in the mid late game can be just a free objective or even more. So definitely a pick to look out for throughout the entire game.
Yeah, and I mean they do have the Ivern ult to block some hooks, but other than that, there are a lot of very juicy targets. The Talia doesn't want to be hooked, the Jace, the Karma, and the Ezreal if it can be landed. So this Blitzcrank could be a pretty impactful pick.
Yeah, building off what you just said, PPP doesn't really have any real frontline. They have a bunch of squishier champions, so they'll definitely be relying on the shields from Ivern and Karma to play through these team fights.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll see the Akali might have free reign if she can get a bit ahead, just running down the Ezreal and the Talia and even the Jace if they fall a bit too far behind. So we'll see how well this Akali pick does into PPP.
Yeah, PPP's definitely opted into a more poke style comp with the Ezreal Jace and to an extent Talia. But on the other hand, Conjoined Twins does have some pretty good engage with Malphite and J4. So we'll have to see if PPP can position well to stop these really good hard engaged tools, or if Conjoined Twins will just get poked down by the skill shots of PPP.
Yeah, for sure. So getting ready to go into the game. Who would you give the edge in this draft?
That's a really good question. Obviously, I think it'll come down to a lot of execution, but honestly, I'm not sure if Conjoined Twins has the damage to get through the extensive shields of PPP. So I'm going to have to just slightly give it over to PPP because I think just Ivern is such a strong pick right now. The shields are so big. And as you mentioned earlier, Talia with her rocks can really hamper the engage and team fight ability of a lot of champions on CT.
Yeah, for sure. I do definitely really like the Talia here. So we'll see if that can be the difference maker in this game. Jason, definitely a very proficient Talia player.
What are your thoughts on who won draft?
No, I mean I would agree with you. Yeah, I think I really like the Ivern pick. I think it's one of the best champions at this point, and I think that I would expect Ivern to make a pretty big difference in the early game, maybe even able to match the Jarvan and the Jace if he's able to get some early rotations and make a difference in the mid lane. I think we could see Platinum players Poggies taking over this game.
One interesting thing I noticed is that fleet footwork on Jarvan.
Yeah, so that is Fleet Footwork Jarvan. That's not a familiar thing to me. I've seen Conqueror. Yeah. Even seen Lethal Tempo. But yeah, we'll see if Fleet Footwork ends up being helpful in this game. I mean, it does give you the extra move speed, so maybe that's exactly what they need to chase down the Ezreal in some of these fights.
Yeah, and we're seeing an early level 1. It looks like they're just going to get the bush priority in the bot lane. No real invade.
Yeah, Habibi King probably resetting to switch off his trinkets as let me get up the scoreboard here.
Yeah, and we see PPP pushing inwards towards the red buff of Conjoined Twins.
And so we noticed that Talia has chosen to start with the Sapphire Crystal plus refillable potion. This is something that I've been playing with a lot, and I think it's very strong. The ability to get that early lost chapter and get that prio in the lane pretty early into the game.
Yeah, and also both junglers opting to start without a potion. With the jungle changes, everyone's clear tends to be a bit healthier, but if there's an early skirmish, a health pot could go a long way.
For sure. We will see Ivern starting on the blue buff. There's some more creative paths you can take. It looks like he'll just be farming on his top side, but maybe he'll look to make an early play here.
Yeah, I think the pretty standard Ivern full clear would just be blue Wolves, Raptors, red Krugs, and go back and smite Grom. We'll see if he opts go for that or does something a little more creative.
Yeah, Chesto trading on nicely onto Camper. I mean, obviously with the Doran shield and the extra shield he gets, it's going to be pretty hard for Jace to win out long term in trades in this lane, but getting a little bit of damage early can always help.
Yeah, and we see Talia getting the early push and Chesto getting the early push in top lane, so Ivern's going to have a lot of priority for whatever he wants to do, though it does look like he's just going for his camps right now.
Yeah, I think so. Jarvan also opting to full clear. This is a bit of a weird choice. I usually like to see Jarvan going for those early ganks. So, and he is spotted on that nice blue ward that was placed earlier. Nose jumping onto Jason, lands the E and gets a nice trade, but only level 2. And Jason trading back nicely, lands some good damage, and Nose definitely taking the butt end of that brawl.
Yeah. Looks like nothing too exciting going on in the bot lane. Both AD carries farming up.
Yeah, Nose and Jason continuing to trade. And Jason running out of mana, but he does always have the opportunity to just TP back with a lost chapter. Nightstone now making his way towards the bot side, but it looks like he'll opt not to go for a gank as he's now heading up towards the mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like the Habibi pair got a good read on the situation, especially with maybe Karma posturing so aggressively. They managed to escape the Ivern look, maybe not a full on gank.
Yeah, and Ivern's still towards his bot side. They're running forward. Habibi King a bit far up. Ivern has arrived. Habibi King has to flash out of the route.
Yeah, flash burn on the Blitzcrank.
Oh, nice hook.
Get the hook on.
But with the Ivern shield there, I don't know if this is a winning trade. Habibi King now caught out with the Karma. Will he be able to make it out? It looks like he will, but yeah, I'm not sure if that needed to happen there with the Ivern shield available.
Yeah, but we do see Summoner's Burn on both sides, Keel, and I believe that's Ignite on Karma and Ezreal, as well as Flash, Ignite, and...
Yeah, Nose now jumping on to Jason. Jason, without the rocks here, a bit defenseless. We'll see if Nose is able to finish off a kill. Pops the Conqueror, lands the last empowered auto. The seismic shove is good, and the game lags a bit here. We'll see if... Okay, the seismic shove is good. Can he last the last bit of damage? Yes, he can. A nice kill from Nose.
Stream leaving us on a bit of a cliffhanger there, but that is a really nice solo kill on the side of Akali. And also note that Jason burned TP earlier, and while Akali still has it up, so that's going to be an even bigger lead for the side of conjoined twins.
Yeah, for sure. And Jason not able to pick up that lost chapter yet either. Does have the tiers, so won't be struggling too much with the mana, but not much damage built yet, and Akali should be able to keep winning these trades.
We haven't really seen the J4 impact these lanes too much yet. Hopefully he'll start getting active soon, because J4 is pretty well known for his early game ganking and skirmishing.
Yeah, I mean, he's now made his way towards the mid lane. We'll see if anything happens here. Nose not quite level 6, so... Oh, but the flash knock up. Nose just hitting level 6, dashes through, and the auto enough to finish him off. Meanwhile, Habibi King running towards the Ivern, and he'll back off, but a nice kill secured by Nose. Now up 12 farm and 2 kills against this Talia.
Yeah, very smart play by the side of conjoined twins, knowing that Jason's flash was down from the earlier fight, so Jarvan could just go for the flash EQ and take Jason down.
Yeah, and not too much happening in the top lane right now. Chesto is getting the push in as we expected, but Camper with that extra armor from the boots and able to farm up nicely under the turret here, and he has found himself pretty even with the Jace. Oh, as Camper and Nightstone have run into each other. The ult coming out from Camper, but it is jumped away from by Nightstone. If they continue to trade, the Jace will arrive. He jumps in, getting out lots of damage. Carper able to finish off Ivern, but I'd imagine he's not long for this world as Jason is rotated up to help. And overall, a 1-for-1.
Ivern did get the Krugs, I believe, though, so that's a plus on the side of PPP.
Yeah, it is. But Conjoined Twins now up about 1k gold, so we'll see if they're able to translate that into maybe some dragons or Rift Herald as those are starting to spawn.
Yeah, we do see a pretty hefty CS difference in the mid lane, both from the kills as well as Jason choosing to make this roam, I believe. So that's probably where a little bit of that gold difference comes from.
Yeah, for sure. No's doing very well. We do see is up almost 1,000 gold himself, so you're totally right. Jason does miss the seismic shove as well, so even with Nightstone here, I doubt they'll be able to make too much happen. Nightstone now had... Oh, good, yeah.
We do see Chesto was walking upwards through the mid lane for quite a bit, and now he's pathing more towards the top, but I'm wondering if he was looking to make a play mid, or maybe around Dragon.
Yes, he's now here to respond to Nose jumping in. Nose will be able to escape, it looks like, but a nice play by Chesto to deny any sort of fight coming out from Nose onto Jason.
Yeah, he does burn the Akali ult for that.
Habibi and Korean pretty even. Karma clearing out some vision for them, but does jump on the Karma. I doubt they'll be able to finish off the kill. The flash hook, but a flash in response by Cridians, dodging both the hook and the ult coming out from Jarvan. As now Ivern has arrived, a nice buffer, but Habibi King is not long for this world.
Yeah, perhaps a little over aggressive by the side of CT, going in deep towards the blue side Tribush.
Yeah, and that might just be the dragon for them if Habibi King just spawning now and Jarvan now pathing back into his jungle.
Really good flash by Karma there to dodge two skills at once.
Yeah, for sure. And Nose now jumping back onto Jason. A nice dodge on the seismic shove, but doesn't land the E and won't be able to follow it up with too much damage. So yeah, we see Nose now has built himself quite a nice advantage in the mid lane. Chesto starting to as well in the top lane himself, and he'll continue to push in this Malphite, and we'll see if that ends up helping them as Jarvan now clearing the Herald, but it looks like Jason and Chesto might have the first rotation.
Yeah, though we do see Chesto choosing the back right now, and Jason going back mid, so maybe they just had no clue. It looks like Jafer might get away with this Herald.
Yeah, a smart play by Karmper to secure the Herald while no one was watching.
Interesting to see the Hex Drinker as the first purchase for Jace in the top lane. Loses out on a bit of damage, but seeing how he's leaning against the Malphite and Akali's the strong player on their side is a pretty good defensive option. Oh, and we see a flash by the Akali and a quick Zhonya's by Jason to dodge some of the damage, but will it be enough?
Yeah, as Nightstone has arrived, but he lands the E, but onto the wrong person, not quite able to finish off the damage, and a nice play by Nightstone to follow up and save his mid laner. Nose now going down and a shutdown over to the Talia.
Yeah, there we see some of the strength of the Ivern. Talia got out with just a sliver of HP, so before the Ivern changes, probably wouldn't have survived that.
Yeah, for sure. Now Talia looking quite strong, and this advantage that Nose had built starting to fade away. Camper trading with Chesto some more, but not much will come of that.
Yeah, we see Malphite stacking up the early armor. Jace, without too much damage items, will not be doing too much damage to this Malphite.
And it looks like Jason has opted to go for that first item crown. What do you think of that?
Obviously, the defensive option losing out on some, and we
Oh,
see
as the
Karma
hook
hook.
lands onto Critians, a nice kill by Habibi. Jacob landing a beautiful hook, and Nose easily able to escape in the mid lane.
Yeah, we were mentioning how Blitz is sort of a self counterpick into Ezreal, but if you can just keep hooking to Karma, then you can still keep getting these kills in the ball lane.
For sure, a nice shove onto Akali, but not much damage to follow that up as they'll pop the Herald in the bot lane. BB King does tank a few tower shots, but it's all good as they will secure the gold, and the Chesto now pushed in by the Malphite won't be able to help too much out here either.
Yeah. Back on the topic of the crown for the Talia, obviously defensive option can be very effective against the burst of Akali. And also, just in general, CT doesn't really have any good ways of poking it out. Maybe Lucian W.
Yeah, and a nice Cataclysm from the Jarvan coming out. Nose now jumping in onto Jason, and they will be able to finish off the kill. A shutdown going over to Camper or Carper on duty. Man, these names are hard to keep track of.
Yeah, whenever Flash is down, Talia just becomes a very juicy target for this J4 cage. No way of getting out, and with Akali and J4, plenty of damage to take to kill.
As Camper now staring down Chesto with the ult. Will he opt for it? Not yet. He's trading on to Chesto very nicely. A nice ult coming out. Does he have enough damage to finish off the kill? It looks like it's not quite there as the Hexbringer comes in, but the flash from Camper on duty does do the rest of the work as he'll be able to shove that wave in.
Very nice solo kill from the Malphite here onto the Jace.
Yeah,
all that armor and the sheen damage coming through.
Yeah, Nightstorm bringing out the ult, but looks like he will opt not to go for the play as Lucian does catch him out with the W. The next dragon spawning in 25 seconds. We'll see if both teams start to make their way towards the bot side. Chesto has TP'd back to the top lane, so he'll have to walk all the way down while Camper does still have his TP, but maybe Jace can take advantage of that and grab the turret here.
We'll have to see if PPP even decides to contest this dragon, knowing that Chesto has no real way of coming down. We do see
Nose jumping back onto Jace, and Nightstone taking a bit of damage. Jace does secure the turret as Camper has TP'd back in, which means that now Jace with the inside track to get to the dragon a bit earlier, but Camper is starting it up. I'm not sure if this is the best idea, as there's a lot of poke from the side of PPP.
Yeah, we see Chesto making his way down to the mid lane, pushing out the mid lane, and now they have a good track towards Dragon.
Yeah, they do finish off the smite. Really a nice play by Carper on duty. Can they get out? Habibi King will look to survive, and a nice play by Conjoined Twins, able to secure that dragon despite the fact that they had fewer people on the bot side of the map. Habibi now getting traded onto. A nice flash from Habibi King. Does deny the shield, but Kurian will not quite go down. A nice flash. Carper has now arrived. Ults Critians and able to finish off the kill. But Nightstone will continue to trade. Daisy going hard onto Carper on duty. Lands the root, but with Kurian so low, I'm not sure if they'll have the damage to follow up and secure any more kills.
Yeah. And we see that Malphite has also gotten this top tower pretty low, partially because Jay spent a lot of time in the mid lane posturing around that dragon. Also, I think not a great use of exhaust by the Karma in the last fight. I think he was pretty much dead as soon as J4 ulted, so that's going to be a summoner down for the next fights.
Yeah, and Camper finishing off this turret will make the turrets even in the top lane, and I don't think Jason will arrive in time to too much about the recall. So yeah, Camper doing really well in this top lane against the Jason. He'll be looking to make a pretty big impact in some of these team fights later on.
Yeah, I think given that the AD carry is Ezreal, if this Malphite gets too far ahead, I think
Habibi King now running at Chesto. I don't think the hook landed. Yeah, as Chesto will be okay, but a nice look, and Nightstone now turning on to the Herald. Now that they've seen two in the bot lane, I'm not sure that much is going to be done to contest this.
Yeah, looks like they will just get it for free. So we do see Akali moving kind of close. Akali and J4.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a bit of a fight here with the Malphite rotating down, but it looks like they are just opting to back off. Oh, the Malphite ult coming out onto the Ivern, and his Karmper will dive on as well, and a nice play. But now the Talia ult coming out, barring the escape, but Nose jumping onto Caridians, has the last part of the ult and will secure the kill despite the ground coming out from Talia. A nice ult from Karmper as Caridians will have to flash away from that one. Pops the True Shot Barrage, but nowhere near enough damage to do much. Chesto pushing in now that the Malphite has rotated towards the top lane. He might be able to secure a turret for himself, but overall a pretty good trade.
Yeah, CT got a couple of kills there. I think Ivern just greeted a little too hard for that Scuttle Crab. I think Ivern should have known that the Malphite and J4 were pinching from both sides and just giving up the Scuttle Crab, but a jungler's got to do what a jungler's got to do.
Yep, junglers always going for that Scuttle Crab, no matter how dangerous it is, and maybe we've seen lots of players get caught out making the same mistake. So hopefully Nightstone can learn from it and maybe be a little bit more careful there in the future. Chesto going towards Camper. He tries to escape with the Hex Gate, but it won't be enough, and I don't know how Camper is going to get away from this one. He does not have the ult yet available, and it looks like they're going to try to donate the kill. Oh, they'll give it to Chesto, and yeah, he'll continue to get himself a bit of a lead. Nightstone coming towards the mid lane, but not much happening there. No size matters finishing off the turret in the bot lane.
Yeah, overall, around 3k gold lead for the conjoined twins. We'll have to see if this Herald makes that gold lead a little bit smaller though, as it's crashing and breaks the mid tower. Now it's only a 2k gold lead.
Yeah, his Nose might jump on the Chesto here, does land the E, the ult coming out, pops the Shroud, but he might have revealed a little too early. Chesto dodging the damage to the jump and able to finish. Actually, I think that might have been the Hex Drinker prop.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you can actually jump over the Polyall, but
yeah,
the Hex Drinker sure made it look like the ult didn't do much damage.
Yeah, and Chesto with a nice 1v1 there.
And there's the power of that Hex Drinker.
Habibi King looking for a hook still, but nothing too much coming out yet. Conjoined Twins does seem to be getting some priority around this dragon. We'll see if they can translate that into this objective, but yeah, they're quite deep, and if they can clear out some vision, it might be pretty dangerous for PPP to walk into the bot side. As Chesto now walking in a bit far, a hook missed by Habibi King, but Camper there to clean up, not quite enough damage. Karmper going a little too far as Chesto finally goes down, but now Nose a bit far into the team, able to jump on Caridians. He's exhausted, flashes away, and the seismic shove is nice to bring him back in. And while Chesto does go down, 2 kills do go over to the side of PPP, as now they'll probably be able to convert that into the dragon.
Yeah, I think that missed hook made some members of CT overextend to get the kill and put them in a bad position.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Habibi King was doing there, but definitely want to be landing those hooks, especially when the Jace doesn't know you're there.
Yeah, I think Camper also opting to one-man Malphite ult the Jace there. Not sure if it was really worth it, given that it ends up being a 2-for-1 for the side of CT, as well as dragging over to the side of PPP.
Yeah, and we saw that the worked ground from the Talia doing a lot of work, as it was able to block multiple dashes from the Akali, from the Jarvan, and yeah, I mean the value of the Talia pick is just showing in this game. Malphite ulting onto Chesto. Can Camper finish off the kill? It looks like not, but Habibi King now coming around. Does flash for the hook, lands it this time, and a flank from Habibi copy enough to finish off the kill, as they'll look to push out the top lane and maybe head towards this Baron.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll start it right now. It's only 21 minutes, so it is Baron is quite strong, but it looks like they are going to start it.
Yeah, Daisy coming out, and I'm not sure if I love this play by the conjoined twins. Habibi King already getting caught out, and without these critical ults like the Malphite ult, they do land the Jarvan ult, and a nice combo from No Size Matters, dealing a lot of damage. Habibi Poppy dashes through the worked ground. The seismic shove does not land, and the Daisy staving off the rest of the play, but they will deny the Baron as... Oh, it looks like no, Habibi will just opt to continue pushing out this mid lane.
Yeah, I think there you saw, while Taliyah work ground can be so effective at times, I think CT really made a good use of when it was on cooldown to send Akali in and get some really good value out of the Taliyah work ground being on cooldown.
And this is quickly shaping up to be one of our closest games of the tournament so far, so we'll see who's able to take it. But only 2k gold separating these teams, and an extra dragon for PPP makes that pretty negligible. We'll see if the Blitz is able to make any differences in these team fights later on. Nice stun clearing out some vision in the bot side. The next dragon isn't spawning for another couple of minutes, so we'll see if anything happens around this Baron.
Yeah, we do see a couple members of the red team starting to posture around this Baron. Carver is standing up of a ward and eating some Ezreal skill shots.
Yeah, we're seeing the poke work out nicely for the side of Platinum players Poggies, and oh, a nice hook onto Cridians, and the follow-up is there. Carper now jumping in with the ult, but the entire team is zoned out by the Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, it looked like quite a few members of CT backed off after the Karma pick while Carper went in, so some miscommunication there maybe.
Yeah, no, with how strong Carper is looking in this game, I'm not sure if trading him for the support is quite worth it here, as the Weaver's Wall was used and Nose now on a bit of a flank. He is seen, a nice blue ward from, I believe that was Cridians, and or excuse me, Kurian, and they'll be able to see that flank before it becomes too dangerous.
Yeah. A lot of cooldowns, important cooldowns blown on the side of CTs, so until they come back up, they're probably not going to look for any big fights.
Yeah, with no the culling down, the Cataclysm down, and the Unstoppable Force, so we'll see if they can let those ultimates start to recharge and look for something when they come back up. Nose now looking towards Chesto. Last time Chesto won this 1v1, and it looks like the same is happening as he deals a lot of damage to Nose, and yeah, I'm not sure what Nose is doing. Now Habibi King and Carper have arrived. A nice knock up into the pull. Carper dealing is going to dish out some damage, but oh, Habibi jumping onto Chesto, a nice play, but isn't able to finish off the kill as now Habibi King dies. Looks like a 2-for-1, and we got Platinum players Poggies continuing to push forward. Nice stun now arriving as well, and this might be yet another dragon for the side of Platinum players Poggies.
Yeah, if they can stack up these Hextech dragons and eventually get to Soul, that's going to be really big for his poke comp, because the extra damage on every skill shot landed, as well as the slow, that's going to make it really hard for Conjoined Twins to play.
Yeah, as the TP does come out from No Size Matters, so he will be able to make it to the fight. Habibi King a little bit behind, but Jason also not there, although he does have the Weaver's Wall if he needs to catch up.
They are taking some Ezreal poke, though. Carper around half HP, though he will heal up from this blue buff, assuming he gets it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this Taliyah build. I would personally like to do a little bit more damage, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do to stay alive.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna rely
Oh, a
on...
nice flash onto Jason, but Jason does still have the Zhonya's available. When will he use it? It looks like he's not. Oh, but he still lives. Chesto dishing out some major damage with the poke, and it looks like it might be a 3-for-0 here. Can Chesto finish off Carper as he continues to chase him down? The flag and drag comes out, but it's not enough. And Habibi King might not have hooked the right guy as Jason's build coming in clutch.
Yeah, it looks like Zhonya's possibly was still on cooldown, so not so much holding it as much as unable to use it. It is coming off cooldown now, though, but we really saw that crown put in so much work there. I think without that crown, he would have died in a split second, but mitigating so much damage from the first of conjoined twins. And now you see PPP going towards Baron and just taking it down just like that.
Yep, for sure. And now that this gold lead that was once 3k in favor of conjoined twins is now gone to the side of Platinum Players Poggies, as they have a really strong Jace, a really strong Ezreal, and a really strong Talia, all supported by the shields of Nightstone. But Habibi King finds himself behind Chesto. Chesto now looks to be caught out. The E lands from the Akali. He does get the trade kill onto Habibi King, but a nice shutdown going over to No Size Matters.
Wow, really surprised that he managed to get the return kill. It was 4-on-1 there.
Yeah, I guess Habibi King a little bit less tanky than he expected, and a pretty good play from Chesto to at least get one kill back onto conjoined twins.
One thing we do notice is the Serpent's Fang in the inventory of Lucian. I do wonder, are we able to see how much shielding mitigated that's done?
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like only 234 so far, but I believe he did complete the item recently, so we'll see later on into the game how much work that is able to do. No Size Matters chunked to about half HP, but with the Baron on, it looks like they'll mostly just be holding for now.
Yeah, I think the next dragon, soul point for PPP, is going to be super important this game. We'll see if CT is able to pick up a big fight there.
Yeah, for sure. I think these defensive items have definitely been coming in clutch for PPP. As it looks like you might have another fight coming up soon. Camper positioning a little forward, maybe looking for that unstoppable force. Carper getting chased down by Nightstone. A nice seismic shove comes out, but the workaround is not there, and not quite able to catch out Carper. The heal is popped from the Lucian. Now Camper's looking a bit low. A nice seismic shove, and Jason able to finish off the kill.
Yeah, I was concerned about side PPP not having enough damage to kill the Malphite, but it looks like they killed him no problem. He stacked a lot of armor, but it looks like all he has for MR is one Negatron cloak, so even though Jason's build doesn't have too much damage, it's still enough to take down the Malphite.
Yeah, and that will be the inhib going down. Platinum Players Poggies with the pushing lane, and we'll see if they're able to convert that into a Cloud Soul coming up soon. Or excuse me, I think it's a Hex Tech Soul. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think the top left, the dragon, might be lying to us. I'm not sure why that's showing Cloud, but yeah, it looks to be a Hex Tech Soul here, which would be very good for the side of Platinum Players Poggies.
I wonder if we see the Akali going for the flank and the J4 running up. We'll see if they can collapse onto.
Yeah, Akali jumping in a little bit early, but does have the Shroud. The exhaust popped, and they'll just gun him down. I'm not sure how he